The NBA Conference Finals matchups are set. Ja Morant is suspended again, and the Suns are looking for a new head coach. So much to discuss around the National Basketball Association, so let's get into it with the great writer and podcast host for TrueHoop. That would be Jarod Hector, who joins me now. Jarod, NBA playoffs are rolling around. We are in the conference finals, man.
It's crazy. When the playoffs start, you're like, man, a million games and a million nights. How am I going to make it through it all? And look, here we are. Final four, already set.
Already set. All right, Jarod, the Celtics, they are back in the Eastern Conference Finals after they stomped the Sixers in Game 7. Now they're going to face the Heat in the Conference Finals. What are your thoughts on this matchup, and who do you think has the edge in this series?
Well, look, the Celtics are the better team top to bottom, right? They have two all-NBA players in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, of course, coming off that ridiculous 51-point outing to close out the Sixers in Game 7. And they've got depth with Malcolm Brogdon, Al Horford, Rob Williams. But look, the Heat have been excellent all postseason, and that's because Eric Spoelstra is a phenomenal coach. Jimmy Butler is a great player. They're doing this, and Bam Adebayo is a great player as well. They're doing this with a bunch of undrafted guys. Tyler Hero may come back in this series. So, look, I'm going to give the edge to the Celtics, of course, but this ain't going to be some four-game sweep. I expect this to be a long series. I expect it to go 6 or 7.
All right. Heat culture should give some problems to the Celtics. We'll see if that series is a long one. Now, the Lakers and the Nuggets, they're in the Western Conference Finals. Got to ask you this. Do King James and the Lakers have a chance to upset the top-seeded Nuggets, or is Denver too strong?
Of course, anybody who is in the conference finals has a chance to win it, right? I mean, it's only two teams, so one of them's got to win for sure. Look, LeBron's playing excellent. Anthony Davis is looking like he's the best player in basketball, right? With what he can do on both ends of the floor. And if he is healthy and they're getting that kind of production out of him, of course I give him a chance. Now, Denver has more continuity. They have the two-time MVP in Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray playing extremely well. They've got some bench questions that I have, but Mike Malone's seemingly pushing the right buttons. I think this is a Michael Porter Jr. series, Dexter. He's got to play well on both ends of the floor, because if he's playing well, the Lakers have no matchup answer for him.
All right, we'll see if MPJ can step up for the Nuggets in that one, or if King James and the Lakers advance to the NBA Finals. Now, on Sunday, we got to get some news that is off the court. Grizzlies star Ja Morant has been suspended from all team activities pending league review. This after Morant was seen flashing what appeared to be a gun in an Instagram Live clip. Yes, this is the second such occurrence for Morant this year. The team has suspended him now in the offseason, but do you think the league will handle, or how do you think the league is going to handle the punishment for the Grizzly stars? What happens here, Jarod?
I mean, the thing is, I'm not really sure the NBA is equipped to deal with whatever this problem is that's going on with Ja Morant. It's very easy to dismiss it as, oh, he's just some young kid who wants to be a gangster, this, that, and the third. Maybe that's part of it. But the NBA and the Grizzlies seemingly are not the environment to help him with this scenario. Because look, as you mentioned, this is the second time on IG Live he's caught with this instance. We know about all the summer instances from last summer where he got police involvement and all that. This is a real problem right now. And whether it's a year-long suspension, there's something serious needs to happen here. And for me, as you know, Dexter, I'm not a punitive guy, punishment for punishment's sake. This kid is playing with his livelihood and his life. Anytime you involve guns in any scenario, death is around the corner, right? Because people might think there are people out there who this is not a game for them. This is what they do. And so this is a serious, serious situation that the Grizzlies and the NBA, even though, again, I think they're ill-equipped to handle it, need to find some way to figure this out, because this is not trending in a positive direction for Ja Morant.
Yeah, this is serious beyond basketball for sure, and we'll see how that all plays out with Ja Morant and the Grizzlies and the NBA and what their decision will be going forward. Now, other news around the NBA on Saturday. The Suns, they parted ways with Monty Williams. Was this a shocking move to you? And if it was, if it wasn't, what kind of coach do you think the Suns will look to lead a team that's going to have championship aspirations again next season?
Definitely not a shocking move. Look, new owner Matt Ishbia, this is what new owners like to do. Some guy buys a team, he wants to put his imprint on it, right? And this is what he's doing. And he said in his introductory press conference, Matt Ishbia, he's a hands-on, get in the weeds kind of guy. Well, he's been in the weeds and he's getting hands-on. It was widely reported that he was the driving force behind gutting the roster to make the trade for Kevin Durant. Now, of course, Kevin Durant's an all-time great player. You do that deal 10 times out of 10. But the rest of this roster was not constructed in a way to actually make a deep playoff run, right? And so now, firing Monty Williams, and look, Monty's going to get some flack because of the way that the playoffs ended last year for the Suns, getting blown out at home in Game 7. And again this year, different team getting blown out in Game 7. And Monty said after this year's loss, no, not showing up for the win, that's on me. Well, yes, it is on you, not getting your team ready. And so, look, Mike Budenholzer's name's floated around there. I mean, that's a terrible idea. You need someone who is proven X's and O's, is an innovator, who's not dogmatic in their approach. They're pragmatic, right? Someone who's willing to, this is not working, scrap, do something else. But more importantly, Dexter, someone who can sell his message and his system and get buy-in from his players, and who can manage the egos and personalities within an NBA locker room. An NBA head coach's job is not just drawing up plays. No, it's so many things. You're a salesman, you're a motivational speaker, you're a therapist. I mean, he's got to wear multiple hats. So it's got to be someone who really has the appetite for this. And I would love for a team like the Suns to really look outside of the traditional, names that we typically hear. Go radical if you're really trying to do this, right? Somebody who might be, quote unquote, unproven, but may have this type of abilities, right? We'll see.
We'll see what they do as the head coaching search for the Suns now begins. So much that we had to talk about. A lot going on in the NBA Conference Finals. Should be exciting. Jarod Hector will be all over it in his coverage for TrueHoop. Jarod, always good to talk some NBA hoops with you. Basketball never stops. Thank you, my man.
Pleasure, my man.